Hi, this is Gina Kelly, Alexander Technique Teacher. In today's video, I'd like to show you how to set up for the practice of constructive or active rest or lying in semi-supine. So whether you have come to this video because you've taken a lesson with me personally, an Alexander lesson with me personally, or you're just searching, you heard about constructive rest and you're searching for how to set it up, hopefully this will be helpful. So to begin, you'll want to do your constructive rest on a firm surface. So on your living room carpet, on a yoga mat, as I have here, any firm surface would be great. If the surface is too soft, like a bed, it won't allow your spine or your torso to lengthen and widen and really have the proper support needed like the ground gives. So once you have found your surface, you'll want to set up a little support for underneath your head. I have a few things that would work here. Ideally, you would use maybe some paperback books. The height is going to differ from person to person. I'll say more about that in a moment. A yoga block will be too high for almost all people. So you can get some paperback books or magazines. If you have a sensitive head and you get down here and don't like the feeling of the books, then you could use a blanket. Probably last choice would be a pillow, but a blanket like this would work as well, because we want the head to have some rollability and to not be to sort of sink into the object that's supporting it. So those are a few options for you. I'm going to use these two books here and put those down. And then let me show you a way to come into your constructive rest. So sit a little bit away from your books, and then you're going to drop your knees to the side and look with a long torso from your hip to the top of your head. Look towards the books and then slide out so that you land on your side, and then you can roll back onto your books. And as you can see, when my head is on these books, the back of my neck is lengthened, but it's not overly lengthened. I'm not tucking my chin into my chest, nor is my head rolling back with my chin higher than my forehead. So head is relatively level with the sternum or chest bone, and there's some length happening, as if you're nodding yes slightly. If this was not the right height, I would obviously sit back up and sort of play with the height. Sometimes having a friend or family member help you judge the height, because they can see you, will be helpful as well. So we want some rollability available in the head. And then to position the legs, I always recommend just hugging the knees into the chest a little bit, rolling from side to side to free up any tension or pockets of tension in the low back or sacrum. One hand to each kneecap, straighten the arms so your legs are dangling from your hands, and then you'll let one foot find the ground and then the other. Each leg looks like a triangle. And then we're going to roll to one side, reaching the arm out diagonally, letting this left shoulder, in this instance, widen as it comes to the ground. Hand finds the belly or the hip point, and the same over here. And then you're just letting yourself settle. Eyes are free in the room, letting yourself look around. If you find your leg muscles gripping, see if you can change your thinking to instead think about the feet releasing into the earth and the legs releasing away from your torso. It might take a while for the legs in particular to unwind and get used to unwinding a little bit and still having some tonal quality as well. So in the meantime, you might experiment with letting the knees touch in the midline, or letting the legs just part away from the. This is a stepping stone towards eventually having the knees straight up, letting the backs of the thighs lengthen. So it's pretty straightforward. I hope that helps you get set up, and maybe for the first constructive rest that you do, you'll just be there for 5 or 10 minutes, eventually working up to 15 or 20 minutes. I'll try to post some other videos where I talk about variations in constructive rest, and then do a talk through or two of what you might be thinking about during constructive rest. But for now, that was just the setup. You can feel free to leave me any questions or comments below, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.